What a game. With playoff seeding on the line, the Warriors traveled to a hostile Memphis and went toe-to-toe in a high-scoring battle that felt like the postseason. The GOAT Steph Curry entered God mode and erupted for 52 points and 8 assists, obliterating multiple aggressive defensive coverages on his way to 12 three-pointers. I had to break down this Steph classic, so let's get to it. Right off the bat, Golden State immediately want to run an action involving the big man Zach Edey. With Memphis going big and Edey guarding Draymond, the goal is to draw the big man out to the perimeter and get them out of their comfort zone. Steph chooses to run a chase action with Draymond Green, where he throws the ball to Dre and then immediately runs after it. Simultaneously, Jimmy Butler sets an off-ball screen, knowing the Grizzlies are not switching these, forcing Jalen Wells to chase from behind. As Dre hands it off, he also sets a screen, giving Curry the opportunity to come off and see Edey in a drop coverage. Memphis actually does a good job preventing the three ball, forcing Steph to put it on the floor and attack Edey. He counters by flipping a bounce pass back out to the perimeter where Green is wide open and shoots the three. The Grizzlies will live with these attempts. Draymond and Steph were putting on a show in the first quarter. On this out-of-bounds play, Green's got the ball with Edey in a drop coverage. Memphis game plan to be super aggressive with Steph Curry and historically has been with Golden State's shooters. You can see Wells in the top block coverage, playing the high side and trying to prevent Steph from using screens. When Edey slowly comes up higher, the way to counter this aggressive coverage is to simply backdoor cut. Steph uses a swim move to backdoor where there is no rim protector waiting. Fantastic bounce pass and chemistry by Dre and Steph here for the layup. Rewatching these plays, I feel like so many shots you can see them coming. On a semi-fast break, Steph loves to dribble towards multiple defenders, often with the goal of confusing them on the break and trying to force a double team. When he initially messes up this potential behind the back step back, he sees that Draymond's coming to set a screen, and his man in Zach Edey is naturally 1 foot in the paint of drop coverage. Knowing the Grizzlies do not want to switch and Wells is going over the top, this is perfect for an elite off-the-dribble shot maker like Steph. Here he uses the green pick for one extra dribble and finds daylight for the pull-up three. There are a few things more dangerous than a Steph Draymond two-man game. They were repeatedly targeting Zach Edey in the first quarter. Edey is playing a drop while Aldama is fighting to recover, so both of them are fully ignoring Green on the perimeter. Steph stays patient by keeping his dribble alive to try to find something better, but when no one's open, it is a simple kick out back to Dre. Aldama makes a brutal mistake by turning towards the ball, completely forgetting the off-ball legend that is Steph Curry. Edey correctly turns back to his man, and Steph's second nature is to always relocate the second he gives up the rock. Aldama is put in the spin cycle, and Dre swings it back for an open Curry three ball. Let's expose Edey one more time. On an isolation and a mismatch on the perimeter, Curry smells blood against the slow-footed big man. Bane also recognizes this and comes to immediately shade just one pass away. When Steph sees this coverage, he immediately tells the open Guy Santos to cut. This forces Bane to back out of the play to get his man, leaving Steph on an island again exactly where he wants. A little step back and Edey does a pretty good job getting a hand up, but you're just not going to stop the greatest shooter of all time for a heat check. Golden State came out with the highest scoring first quarter of the season. They were clearly locked in with playoff seeding up for grabs. QP also shot well in the first half. Here they run a super high pick and roll where Pippen Jr. is fighting over the pick and Aldama is in a drop coverage. Memphis will do everything to try and cover Curry. So when they are about to double, Steph loves to keep his dribble alive just a little longer, waiting for the screener in post to pick and pop exactly where he wants on the perimeter. Nice pass through the defense by Steph, and we'll take an open post three all day long. Great counter. Memphis has Scottie Pippen Jr. pick up Steph full court to try and annoy him. Jimmy and post set continuous screens to give him some space, but sometimes if you're the defense, there's literally nothing you can do but watch it all. Pippen is reaching from behind and Memphis got their eyes locked on him, but Curry messes around with his dribbling and goes for a ridiculous step back three on the left wing with the hand to face. Turns to the Memphis coach and gives him a stare. Let's break down a mini defensive highlight. The Grizzlies try to catch the Dubs defense by surprise with Pippen trying to attack the slow rookie in transition. Shout out Post for not falling for the shot fake and keeping his hands low and sliding his feet to force the guard to pick up the ball while the rest of the Warriors stay home. Pippen Jr. is in an uncomfortable situation and ends up throwing right to Steph, and then Guy Santos is able to leak out and finish the fast break layup. Great defensive discipline here by the Warriors. Pippen Jr. is a good defensive guard. I'm sure Memphis trusted him to pick Steph up full court again. However, this gives the Warriors opportunities to set super high pick and rolls for Steph, completely stretching the defense out to near half court. I want to highlight Buddy here, faking the screen first. However, when Jimmy Butler actually sets the on-ball pick, the coverage is so lax because there's just so much room to operate. Butler is able to slip the pick and get an advantage, where the Grizzlies guards were planning on switching. This opens up the short roll pass back to Jimmy, and remember when Buddy faked that initial screen? Now he's on the weak side corner, bringing his defender Luke Kennard completely out of help position as well. Ja has to try and help last minute from the strong side, but Jimmy has a wide open lane to catch and dunk. Plays like these are why Draymond Green is so essential to Steph Curry. When Jimmy kicks it out to the wide open Green, Jalen Wells is literally top blocking Steph with his back to Curry. When have we seen anybody cover a guy like that 30 feet away from the basket? Draymond does not force anything here and immediately looks to Steph, who creates space from Wells and comes for this handoff action. This also acts as a screen where Curry finds full daylight as no one was initially covering Draymond. Buddy Hield unfortunately somehow brought Kennard into the play, who makes a last minute attempt to contest, but Steph throws this beautiful setup to end the first quarter. Time to highlight a massive defensive breakdown by the Grizzlies. Pippen Jr. is aggressively picking Steph up full court again. Steph combo dribbles to shake him a bit, but Mooney comes for another super high pick and roll to get the slower big man Aldama into action. Memphis completely miscommunicates here. Aldama comes to hedge the screen, and I'm pretty sure he thought Pippen Jr. was going to recover. But as Moody gets out of the play, Pippen Jr. fails to communicate this switch. Looney then comes up for the second screen, but this was not even necessary. Steph can't believe he got defenders actually running away from him. One dribble to step into rhythm, and he pulls an open 30-footer and switches it. On-ball Steph Curry is my favorite Steph Curry. For all the defense grabbing him left and right, we got arguably the greatest handles to counter every aggressive coverage. Pippen Jr. is grabbing and reaching from behind to no avail, but Steph finds his favorite target in big man Zach Edey and simply crosses up to the free throw line. Edey still has his hands up, but Steph is putting on a show even from the mid-range. Shout out Draymond for having an incredible all-around game, getting a clean strip on the bang, gather, and drive, and starting a fast break. The Warriors run a 4-on-3 fast break, and everyone fills the lane perfectly. Butler fills the right side for a 2-on-1 while Post is cutting to the rim, and Curry fading to the corner to stretch the floor. Butler definitely should have gone up with this, but you know the man is just too unselfish. Looks to the natural weak side corner kickout, and just gets the pass 0.1 seconds ahead of time. Steph catches the loose ball, and this is just professional rhythm shooting from downtown. What a maniac. Breaking down Steph Curry heat checks should not be legal. The shots he takes make literally zero logical basketball sense. With Jimmy not rushing anything here, he takes a look around and sees that Ja Morant is right behind him. Morant loses discipline by not focusing on his man Steph and tries to flop unsuccessfully. Now he loses balance and gets slightly out of position, and Butler hands it off to Curry, who launches another 30-footer solely because he has 2 feet of room. He makes zero sense. Credit to the Grizzlies, who are going shot for shot with the dubs. You got Jalen Wells aggressively giving zero space to Steph, but the camera immediately goes into Draymond handoff action. These handoffs act extremely well as a screen, where the duo is able to catch Zach Edey so deep in the paint in the drop coverage. Wells gets stuck on the back screen by Draymond, and Steph has the most open look of the night so far. These classic Warriors actions are a display of art. Steph Curry comes for the inverted pick and roll, knowing that the Grizzlies are not leaving him. Wells hedges, but Curry sets an effective screen, giving Butler a lane to collapse the defense. Edey rotates as a weak side big man, and Butler makes the correct play by kicking out to the corner. This was another setup by the big three, as Green does not settle and uses Edey's coverage to immediately go for the handoff. If you're Jalen Wells and you lose half-second concentration, your man in Steph Curry is gone. Jackson Jr. tries to save the day by peel switching, and with Wells fighting over the pick, Steph takes one dribble to create space to the left corner, and just look at this ridiculous three-pointer over 2 defenders. Defense turns into offense, with Edey coming up for the high pick and roll. Paz is able to cut him off, forcing Morant to the sideline. Dre also comes up high to show and try to cut off Ja, but Ja is just a bit too quick. Moody comes to rotate early as the weak side low man, but Steph also helps out the strong side off a mediocre three-point shooter to get his hands in a cookie jar and strip Ja cleanly. You got 5 guys around Morant, and you would definitely come up with a loose ball. Steph is leading the fast break, and he immediately noses Edey dropping to the paint with his natural instinct. Swinging to Moody, who has an open shot, but shout out Moses for not settling here and hit him with a hezzy cross, then uses his strength to put Edey in the weight room and create space for his layup. That was impressive. They're going to spam the two-man game against Zach Edey. Spread pick and roll with Steph and Dre, and Edey's too slow to come out and remains in the drop. However, with Pippen Jr. trying to swat the shot from behind, Edey's just high enough to open the passing lane to Draymond as the roll man. The Memphis big man just cannot react in time, and a simple lead bounce pass to Green for an open dunk. Another defense into an insane offensive possession. Bane drives and has a step on Santos. Moody rotates early as the weak side low man to give Bane another defender in this vision. Steph now drops down to rotate to the two weak side Grizzlies. Santos does a great job keeping his hands up, forcing Bane into this awkward step through and leave his feet to pass. Curry plays his X out perfectly and reads the passing lane, starting another fast break. I got nothing here but dribbling straight to the three-point line, then shot faking to get two defenders in the air, then realizing he has just enough space for a reload three ball even with a good contest. He is 1 of 1. Gotta give Buddy Hield a shout out for some important buckets down the stretch. Hield's got the ball in the left wing and Steph fakes setting this back pick to actually run off Looney's second off-ball screen. Pippen Jr. dangerously gets stuck on the pick but does a pretty good job recovering, forcing Steph to put the ball on the ground and use another re-screen by Looney. Jackson Jr. is a great defender and immediately recognizes this and sprints out from the paint to contest his three ball. Looney also recognizes that when two defenders go to Steph, you have to roll and try to create a passing lane. This small roll to the rim preoccupies Luke Kennard one pass away, where Curry was able to find Buddy on an open catch and shoot in the wing. Big three by Buddy here. The thing with superstars like Steph is, when his first threes of the quarter weren't going in, he doesn't keep chucking them, but instead tries to find something easy at the basket. Moody sets an off-ball screen and Pippen Jr. is playing straight up and fights through. Butler comes for the second screen and Steph is able to use his dribbling skills to carve out the defense. He first catches Aldama fully out of position. He's not high up on Steph, nor in the show or drop coverage. Instead, he gives Steph an entire lane to drive with his left hand, knowing he can't settle himself for a jump shot because Pippen Jr. is right behind. Edey has to come rotate late, but Steph can already turn the corner with full momentum and Euro steps for a fancy layup. I thought the Grizzlies had this in the bag with a 4-point lead, but Steph finally came in clutch. With Paz getting a step on Bane, he sees that Draymond is always wide open because Jackson Jr. and the rest of the Grizzlies are game planning to let him shoot. With Ja face guarding Steph, you have to be close to his body. You can't be dancing 5 feet away from him like this. Jimmy Butler recognizes this and immediately sets an exit screen knowing Steph is trying to relocate. Draymond runs a classic play of find Steph Curry and immediately makes a swing pass, where Curry is able to fade and catch both his man stuck on the Butler screen and Butler's original man in Aldama in the drop coverage. Brilliant team play here for his 12th three-pointer. There you guys have it. The Warriors won a tremendous game with playoff implications and took the tiebreaker against the Grizzlies. Steph Curry had his 15th career 50-point game, starting off red hot in the first quarter and leading the Dubs with a well-rounded performance. 10 rebounds, 8 assists, and 5 steals. What a masterful showing. The Dubs needed every single one of those buckets. Curry adjusted to the Grizzlies' defensive coverages by using his shooting gravity to create high-quality looks with back cuts for the other Warriors players. Steph got top blocked multiple times, but the Warriors were able to swing the rock and find openings in the defense for Steph and Draymond to dissect. With 12 three-pointers, it felt like the Grizzlies just knew what was destined to happen. What a gritty, high-scoring win that was, but it was the greatest showman on earth who took the souls of the Memphis team. Now onto a crazy back-to-back against two big Western Conference teams in the Lakers and Nuggets, so they've got to keep this momentum up. If you guys like this breakdown, like and subscribe to see more.